Do your concert photos suck? You're not completely happy with them? There's some problems you got going on? I'm Robert Maxfield, and I've been a concert photographer for 45 years. And I've got some tips today that I'm going to help you out in this video that'll cure a lot of the common problems and mistakes in concert photography. Hang on. The first thing I'm going to tell you is I never ever use auto ISO. Auto ISO can be fooled and cause issues. The very first thing that I set every time I set my camera before I even leave the studio is I set my ISO. If I'm going to shoot an outdoor festival in broad daylight, I normally set my ISO to 400. If I'm going to be shooting indoors or in darkness, an evening festival, things like that, inside a concert hall, I will set my ISO to 1600. Your camera has a light meter, and that light meter tells the camera how to expose the photograph. Okay, so there are several different kinds of metering. There's evaluative or matrix, there's center weighted, there's spot metering. You didn't know that, okay? They don't provide manuals anymore for a lot of cameras, and it's a very important part of your manual. So I'm not telling you to go read the manual, but I'm telling you, you really need to know this. Okay, so what kind of light metering do you use for a daytime outdoor festival? I would typically set my metering up to matrix, or in the Canon world, you'd call it evaluative. I may set it for spot, but what is matrix? Matrix measures the entire scene of the photograph, everything in the photograph, lights, darks. It runs it through an algorithm and it produces what it calculates to be the best exposure. Sometimes that is fooled. That's why I never use auto ISO, because if you get backlighting or you got a lot of black in the background, that can fool the meter and the camera settings by metering the black or the light coming in, and that's a big problem.
Here are the graphics for the Nikon and the Canon metering modes that you will see on your camera. And in this slide are the definitions of those metering modes for Canon, but the same thing is for Nikon also. This photo shows the metering switch location on a Nikon D800. Similar things are on Canon and other cameras. These are what the icons look like for matrix and evaluative metering. You'll find them on Nikon and Canon cameras and many others. Here are some examples of photographs taken with matrix metering. Aaron Copeland and Gracie York. These are outdoors and were taken at the Texas Lotto Plaza in the Toyota Music Factory in Irving, Texas. As you can see, it's normal daylight, so there's no need for anything fancy. Now let's take a look at the metering modes again for Nikon and Canon cameras. Here's a diagram to show those modes. The next metering mode is spot metering. This is what I use for indoor concerts or shooting something at night. Aperture priority does not work well in some of the following conditions. The next three shots are of Aaron Watson. Aaron Watson likes to have backlighting, a lot of it, so that will fool aperture priority and auto ISO. He sometimes uses a lot of dark backgrounds. That also will fall into that category, fooling auto ISO and aperture priority. And then sometimes shots like this will also do the same thing. Spot metering covers a very small area. As you see in this diagram, it's in the center, but you can place that in a number of positions all over the frame. The metering spot meters just that little bitty section, and normally I will place that on the face or nose of the person I am shooting. Why automatics do not work? When they read all the black and all the light, they have problems. When lights flicker and change on the stage, so do your settings on your camera. Now we're going to discuss eliminating blurry and unsharp photos. This is a technique in hand holding. For this demonstration, Julie's going to assist me, and I'm going to teach her to properly hold a camera correctly.
Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about holding a camera and how to hold it. So I've got Julie here assisting me, So I'm going to hand her this camera, and I'm going to teach her to hold it.
Like this?
No, you don't hold it like that. Okay. What you want to do is put your hand underneath the lens, like that, and you put it like that, and that's how you hold the start to the person the basics of holding. Then notice how she's got her arms in towards her chest, like this. You don't want to be out like this. You want to be in.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So now take a look. Okay. And now what's going to happen is when you take a deep breath and exhale, you push the shutter button, and it fires the camera. Okay. What that does is it makes everything stable, keeps you from moving around. Breathing will actually cause you to move and blur your pictures at slow shutter speed. So you want to make sure that you have your elbows in towards.
So you take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. Exhale. Fire the trigger.
Oh, okay.
And that's how you do that. Now.
So how do you do
We'll do that. We'll talk about adjusting the shutter speed and f-stop and all that in another video. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show her the difference in something that is quite a bit heavier. Size does matter. She's now going to handle the heavier, bigger camera. And the first thing you want to do is make sure that it is secure on the strap. You don't want it falling off your neck and breaking. So we're going to put it over her neck, and she's going to hold it the same exact way she held the little one. So put your hand underneath. Okay.
What is this right here?
That's a tripod mount. Okay. That's a tripod mount. Okay.
This is like heavy.
Yes. Quite a bit heavier. So now what you're going to do is look through. Now move your hand a little further that way. There you go. Okay. This is the basic way that you hold the camera. You want to put your elbows in, put your hand underneath the lens, turn sideways. You want to put it that way. You do it that way. You want to put your hand underneath, support the lens. Okay, now, turn the camera sideways.
There's two shutter buttons?
Yes, there's two shutter buttons. Okay, so what you do is you put your hand there and you support it.
Yeah, you put it back like this, or you put it here.
You put it where it hits this one, you hit it right there. Okay.
Okay, so what you're doing is you're putting it like at the base of the lens to the first part of the lens.
Right. Okay, so what she's talking about is the further out you've got your hand on the lens within reason, the more stable it becomes. And also you use the same exact situation. You put your elbows into your body and point the camera. Okay. This is the proper way,
Okay, but my thing is you can't keep this one at your side when you're doing this.
right. You
When
can
you're
lift
like
this
this.
one up. As long as you got one of your elbows into your body, that makes it stable.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay? So you want to be stable. Now, notice how she's standing flat-footed. She's standing with her feet parallel this way. If she takes her left foot and moves it forward, puts her right one behind her. Yep, it's right there. And now look. That gives her a little more stability. It makes it more firm.
So that's how you stand for every shoot.
Every shoot. Everything I do.
It's like this.
Yep. I stand just like this.
Because you can pivot.
And you can pivot, you can move, and you're stable. Your base is stable. See how that works?
Oh.
Snazzy, huh? Pretty snazzy. Okay.
But this, I don't know how you handle this thing. 'Cause it's like lead.
It weighs 10 pounds. The camera weighs about 8.5 to 9 pounds with that lens on it and the grip, so it's quite a bit of weight. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. She can't do it. She got bad knees. All right. What happens is I'm down on the ground doing the same exact thing. I've got the camera like this. I'm supporting it underneath. I'm looking to the camera. And I'm basically doing the same function. I put my elbows in. I can move one out. This is the same setup you use whether you're kneeling, sitting, standing, whatever position you need to be in.
Show them forward so they know the elbow.
Here's what it looks like forward.
Where you can pull it out.
Okay. The longer the lens that you have, the more it has to be stable. If you have a very long lens, it starts doing this kind of number, and that's when you start getting movement and blur.
Is that why a lot of them have that single tripod?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of people, what she's talking about is you'll see a lot of people with a monopod, and it sets the monopod and it keeps you stable. If you need to lean on something, a fence, a box or something like that in the pit area, go ahead and do it, but then you're going to still use the same kind of form. You're going to support the camera with this hand underneath, put the other hand on the camera. You can raise this camera up and about, this elbow up and about, but you want to make sure that one of the elbows is into your body and is stable. Take a deep breath, let out the air. So when you get to the bottom of exhaling, fire the camera, and it's just like firing a rifle.
Really?
Yep, same exact thing.
I know how to shoot a rifle.
You know how to shoot this now.
The next thing we're going to cover is a very old, simple rule that still applies in most cases. The shutter speed you're using should match the focal length of your lens. So if you're using a 200mm lens, your shutter speed should be at least 1/200th of a second. If you're using a 50, normally you would use 1/60th of a second. This chart shows the focal length of the lens and the shutter speed for most combinations. Using too slow a shutter speed for the focal length of the lens you're using will cause your picture to blur. Using the wrong focusing methods will cause your photographs to be blurry. Use the correct focusing modes. Here's a listing of the Nikon autofocusing modes. Since the subjects I will be shooting will be moving, I use autofocus continuous instead of autofocus servo. Servo is for still objects, autofocus continuous is for moving objects. Modern cameras have many focusing zones. Using too many focusing zones can cause problems. Using too little focusing zones can also cause problems. So you want to make sure you have the right amount. What happens is your autofocus tends to focus in the wrong place. It'll focus on the instrument, it'll focus on a mic stand, but it'll focus in the wrong place. What I normally do is pick 9 focus points and I point them directly at the nose of the musician or artist. There is usually a wheel or a button on the back of the camera that lets you select the focus point through the viewfinder.
One of the things people get excited about with mirrorless cameras, there goes Nibby, she's helping me out today. One of the things people get excited about with mirrorless cameras is the fact that it has auto eye detect or some kind of automatic feature that helps you to focus. Well, the problem with that is, say hi Nib. Hi Nib. Oh shoot. Nothing but claws. One of the problems with that is that automatic eye detect autofocus when you're shooting a band typically has a problem and it focuses in the wrong place on the wrong person's eyes. When you deal with a very shallow depth of field, which sometimes you do, that causes a major issue. So in that case with the mirrorless camera, I have to turn the auto eye detect feature completely off. Now if you're at a great range or long distance, it's not effective. So it's only effective at short range or up close. So in the pit, when you're shooting, it's a big problem. Well, hopefully today we were able to give you some information that can help you out and eliminate some of your problems. If you found anything that you liked in this video, go ahead and press the like button. Please go ahead and subscribe. It helps us out. If you have more information or more things that you want, more questions, anything like that, leave it in the comments and concerns and confusions down below the video, and we'll see if we can answer you up and get you taken care of. If you want to see a video on something, give us a subject, we'll do it if possible. And please like and subscribe. We appreciate you watching our videos a lot. Thank you, and we'll see you next week. See ya.